part of the stronghold you have to build is what we call stature. You have to come to a realm of mastery. The realm of mastery, the realm of maturity. It's just like a child that begins to grow, and the child take a step. After it takes 2-3 steps, he falls, right? Take again, he falls. Now, if you actually fall, when was the last time you fall because you were walking? You have gained mastery. That means you have gained stature in walking. In fact, there are people that when you want to walk with them, you have to be moving like this, because when they take one step, there was one day that we and my friends will just begin to trek, and we were just trekking, and we realized that we have left our area and we have entered Welcome to Lafia. What? And when we turn, the problem is going back home now. But there is a way that you trek to a point you gain stature in trekking. It is the same way that I'm telling you, you can do something to a point you gain stature, you gain mastery in it. And let me tell you, someone says something that when you do something consistently over time, you become a captain in it. It's true. Anyone that is a captain has to be somebody that has done something for at least close to 10,000 times. And anything you do consistently again and again, you come to a realm of boldness, a realm of mastery, a realm of stature. There are some of you that if you stand here now, you begin to feel somehow. But if you have been standing here again and again, the time will come, you get used to it. In fact, they can wake you up and say, come and stand, you will stand. I know a lady that says, stand. In our class, she started crying. Why are you crying? Nothing. You see my point now? Why there are people that lecturer will not be in class, they will just stand and start talking. They have gained stature. It's the same way in the realm of the spirit. You can grow to a point where you gain stature. And when a man gains stature in anything, it means a power is given unto him. That power is referred to as the staying power. You will never get stature in anything until you're able to stay in the thing. Nobody just become a master in anything until they remain for so long. It's true. You can master the art of singing. You can master the art of learning a skill. You can master the art of prayer. You can master the art of preaching. You can master the art of fasting. You can master anything. But mind you, before you enter into that realm of mastery, you must actually have been given the ability by God as a power to remain. It's a realm in God. If you have not entered into that realm, you will backslide. Sorry to say this, it's just a matter of time. That is true. You will backslide. Do you know why? Because until you have come to a point where every spiritual thing does not be only an activity, it has become your lifestyle, you will never gain mastery in it. You will see it as a burden again and again. At the point where the thing become your lifestyle, you enjoy doing it. In fact, if you don't do it, you don't feel happy. That's the difference between what they call a job and a work. Now, is that not true? A job is something you do just to get a paycheck. Even if you don't like it, you don't have an option. Work is something that you do because you love doing it, and even if you are not paid, you keep on doing it. There are some of you that, sincerely speaking, you don't like your job. You hate it with passion. An average job, everybody that is given a job, he hates it. But as given to you a job, as you hate it, you must also be able to find a work apportioned unto you. And that is to let you understand that anything you do that you hate doing it, grace is not supplied. And if grace is not supplied, power to remain will not be given. What fuel your prayer? What fuel your studying? What fuel your consistency? What fuel your pursuit for God? What is fueling it? If you come to a point where you realize that it is by your might, by your understanding, you will fail. But if you come to a point where you realize that one way or the other, it's not as if I'm to qualify you, but as if there is an invisible hand holding me. If you are wise enough, remain consistent with the consciousness of that invisible hand holding you. A time will come, that hand will keep you by default. Then when you remain consistently for a while, you gain mastery in that thing, and it looks very easy. It's not as easy as you are thinking, but it's just because you have come into the realm of mastery that it looks easy for you. Simple. No wonder we say inconsistency lies the power. I want to let you understand that you can never excel in life, you can never succeed in life, you can never become that which God has apportioned unto you until you take spiritual activity to become a responsibility and also become your lifestyle, most importantly, and enjoy it as a work. Jesus was the one that said, I have come to do the work of the one who sent me. He did not see it as a job, he didn't see it as something so painful. He referred to it as a work, a duty to carry on. And whether you like it or not, you may not be paid for it, but it is an allotment given to you to come into the realm of the fulfillment of your plan and purpose in life. Neglect the need for you to labor in this kingdom and wake up in the next 10 years and realize your future is not prepared for the version that God has apportioned unto you. Many of you will wake up after a while, you are 30 years old, and yet again in the spirit you are still 3 years old, and you wonder how comes you have not stepped into the realities made available for you in 30 years old. And by the time you appear in heaven, they will play your script and show you that these are the things that are allotted for you to manifest, but yet again you have not manifested them. Why? Because you are small. And that's why the Bible says, if you fail in the days of battle, it's not because the battle is fierce, it's because your strength is small. How then does a man grow to the point where he gains strength in God? It's when a man remains consistently, then he comes into mastery by the enablement of what we call the staying power. It's not just good enough for a man to desire to grow spiritually. A man must cry for God to give him the staying power. How long will you be a good girl? You like this? I guarantee you, devil know everybody has an expiring date. Devil know everybody has a price tag. How long will your hunger last? How long will your zeal last? How long will your passion for God last? There were people that started this thing before you. Where are they today? They are backsliding. There were people that were more zealous than you. Where are they today? They are falling by the wayside. How long will you last? The ability of you to last is enabled by what we call the staying power. We cannot talk about spiritual growth sufficiently well and it profits us until we understand the necessity to make contact with the power in God that makes men stay. No wonder in the book of Acts chapter 1 verse 8, the Bible speaking said, and ye shall receive power after the Holy Ghost. The ability of God to make men remain in a level, in a dimension, you require power. The Bible says God is the one that will give you the power to get wealth. Say, through the greatness of that power will the enemy submit themselves. There is an allotment given to believers for them to reign. You cannot reign by a beg, you reign by an enablement of power. And that is to let you understand, if your life is going to mean anything on the earth, God must be able to supply a kind of power for you to remain in your pursuit and never be discouraged. Everyone that has ever profited from God has been given the staying power. Nobody has come to the fulfillment of their calling that have not remained for so long. Many of you began the pursuit after 2 years, you are tired. You started singing after 1 month, you said, I don't know how this thing. You were praying after 2 months, you are tired. Men have been in this thing for the past 30 years. Some have been in it for 40 years, some 50 years, and they are still there. What keep men remaining? What keep men? The Bible speaks about a man named Prophet Simon, right? And Prophetess Anne, right? That these people remain praying continually for the consolation of Israel. They never knew when Jesus would be born. In fact, the Bible said they just knew by the Spirit that there was supposed to be a revival that is supposed to come to Jerusalem, and it was their work, a lot and portion, for them to remain consistently praying until Jesus is born. So if Jesus delayed for the next 50 years, they will keep on praying for 50 years. If Jesus delayed for 100 years, they will keep on praying for 100. Not because they want to pray, they saw something in the spirit which compelled them to remain. But they don't remain by their own power. There was a power given unto them to remain. And the Bible says, even when it looks as though their life was over, malaria came, they could not die. Cancer came, they could not die. Hepatitis came, they could not die. In fact, HIV may come, they may not die. There are some HIV that come by a spiritual impactation. I know people that never slept with nobody, yet again they are diagnosed with sicknesses that are actually transfused by blood. How did that happen? A time will come when part of the attack of demonic spirit, it will make you look like anything that they will. But in the days when the enemy threw his best, there is a power God give men to remain. So these men, the Bible said, they prayed to die, but they could not die. Why? Because until they see the Christ, until they see him face to face, they will never go. And that is to let you understand there is something you can see in the spirit that will make you remain. There is something that you can come to a realization that can make you remain. In fact, there is an encounter you will have that backsliding can never be an option. Like never. It's true. It's either God or not or nothing. But if you have not seen the thing that men saw that made them remain, you can never remain. Your only escape route is to turn it to a prayer. Oh God, give me the grace to remain. Oh God, give me the staying power. What do you do when everything in life seems to fail? What do you do when disappointment becloud you? What do you do when men call you a failure? What do you do when everything around you has crumbled? What do you do? These are the moment and time where men give up totally on God. But it takes only those that have received a grace to stay for them to remain. How can people be in jail and they still believe there is liberty? How can men be in prison and yet again they are prophesying? Why am I dreaming inside prison? You are dreaming because there is something about your reality that is beckoned upon in the bondage that you are in now. You may be going through certain things right now, but I want to let you understand the reason why you are still in the midst of it and yet again you don't feel the flame, or you feel the flame and you cannot jump out, is because it's what is referred to as the staying power. And that staying power will bring you to a point of stature in God. There were men that, I'm telling you the sincere truth, the reason why you see them manifesting today is because of the pain they went through. Imagine they give up in the midst of the pain. Would they ever become anything? Never. So how did they remain in the pain? You just felt small pain, now you have left. How come did they remain in the pain? Staying power. Oh King, we are not going to bow. If you like, throw us into the fire, we will remain. If we die, we die. If we remain, we remain. If God deliver us, so be. If he doesn't, what do you think we make men say things like that? Staying power. When Job was confronted with a situation, what do you think make Job to remain? Staying power, staying grace. But when such things happen to men, what next is growth in the spirit, stature in the spirit, elevation in the spirit. See, I come to let you understand, every spiritual growth is upon the bedrock of a warfare. And sometimes you may not be able to overcome the warfare. God will give you the grace to remain through the warfare. So like a priest, you will wrestle, and like a priest, you will prevail. And sometimes you don't know how long the wrestling will remain, but it will linger for a while. What makes men remain continually wrestling? Staying power. Go with me to the book of 1 Corinthians 15 verse 9. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 9. The Bible speaking said,